Symbolism is a major part of many global cultures. Whether it is a golden arch or red, white, and blue stars and stripes, symbols can be a distinguishing factor of many aspects of human life. This multimedia project will concentrate on symbolism in pre-colonial and pre-imperialistic Africa. The project looks at religious, political, and social symbols that are found in African cultures. Africa is very diverse, so the project will focus on different peoples and regions of the continent. Also, this attempts to explain how those symbols were a part of a group's culture in a certain area and a time before Europeans took their root in the continent. There's a lot that can be learned about the history of African people through symbolism. Starting in the northern African region, the Tuareg people, as all the people that will be mentioned, have a certain art and symbols that are unique to their culture. They are a nomadic people that are concentrated in Niger, Mali, Libya, Algeria, and Burkina Faso. In Arabic, Tuareg is meant to mean abandoned by God, yet they refer to themselves as Imohag, translated to be free men. Some customs give insight to the importance of certain milestones of a Tuareg person's life. At 17, some girls receive commissar pendants from their moms and were usually in the shape of a stylized hand. Its use is to repel the evil eye and has fertility purposes by way of the shells on it. The commissar pendants can relay the message that the fertility of a young person and keeping them safe from the evil eye is important to them. They are interesting items that teaches some of the Tuareg customs. Tuareg crosses usage is good luck charms. Silver was common and gold was avoided because it is considered to bring bad luck. It is said that the Tuareg crosses were for men once they went through puberty. The father would give it to the son, saying, I give you the four corners of the world, because one never knows where one will die. From their symbols and use of art, you can tell that certain things were important to them, fertility and good omens. The Dogon people of West Africa are an example of a people who value symbolism. According to one historian, to the Dogon, a symbol becomes a diced point of linkage between animal, vegetable, and mineral kingdoms, and different minerals represent or symbolize different organs of the body. For example, rocks can symbolize the bones and the skeletons of a body, red clay regards blood, white river petals can signify toes on one's feet. Also, among the Dogon people, the symbolism in relation to a man in the universe is highlighted, as a man is the grain of the universe, but each distinct part of a single grain represents part of the human body. Number symbolism is also important to the Dogon people, as they have believed the body has 22 parts because people tend to have feet, shins, thighs, the lumbar region, chest, arms, neck, head, and fingers, some of which are pairs so they count as two. Also, the male parts count as three. Furthermore, the Dogon people believe in 8 symbolic grains that are lodged in the bones of each Dogon. So the Dogon value the symbolism that they associate with the body, the earth, and vegetation. In West Africa there once was a kingdom called Benin. The royalty of the kingdom felt that brass meant kingship and it covered beams of the royal palaces. As one can infer, bronze was important to the people. There has been brass heads, freestanding figures or groups, plaques in relief, bells and rattle staffs, small expressive mass in the shape of palaces, animals, cult scenes, jewelry, etc., that are all related to the Benin bronze. The common denominator that corresponds through all the Benin palace art is the metal, so as one can tell, it was very central to the royal thought. Since bronze making was important to the obo or king, it would have also been an important for the people through the fact that it was one of the most important jobs to have. Europeans would eventually bring in metal bracelets called manillas, which the Benin people would create new bronze works with by melting it down due to a lack of raw materials. This means bronze would become important in trade working as well. Benin rulers and craftsmen would have to be good tradesmen and sophisticated in order for these trade dealings to be established. Bronze symbolized the wealth and power of the Benin kingdom. The Ndembu people historically constitutes the southern arm of the ancient empire of Luanda in the Congo. The role regarding women in this group of people is symbolized in the Muti tree, otherwise known as the milk tree. Muti supposedly means a mother and her child, a social relationship. The Ndembu people have a puberty ritual for girls where the tree represents womanhood, motherhood, the mother-child bond, a novice undergoing ignition into mature womanhood, a specific matrilineage, the principle of matrilineage, the process of learning women's wisdom, the unity and perdurance of the Dembu society. The special bond between becoming a woman, a mother, and the love for her child seemed to be symbolized through the ritual which the Ndembu felt to make apparent. So that speaks to the women's importance. Breast milk is at the core of the symbolism regarding the milk tree that releases a substance that has been described as a milky latex. The communal respect of being and becoming a mother was important to this group of people in Africa. This is just one example, but again, one can get a glimpse of what is important to the Ndembu people relating to the symbolism of a tree. In the Dahomey Kingdom of West Africa, there was a group of women warrior fighters that protected the king. Their fierceness can be symbolized in the flags that some carried. Some have been said to show a man cutting an enemy into mincemeat. Also, some of the warrior regiments had drummers, and the instruments were ornamented with 1 or 2 dozen skulls interlaced with jawbones, which exemplifies the pride of glorious war. Killing your enemies may be an important symbol to many armies at war. It is a common thing among the warrior women of the Dahomey Kingdom, which says a lot about their seriousness and willingness to protect their kingdom. The Mali Empire was created sometime between the 13th and 15th centuries. Some of their art, like the Dejin terracottas, depicted horses. Documents in Arabic highlight the imperativeness of the Mali Empire's cavalry. Horses were a part of the military, which is imperative to the success in protecting the empire. Horse symbolism is also important because horses are an animal that had to be imported to the empire, which infer that Mali had good established trade enterprises, relations with foreign entities, and wealth. How could an empire rely on horses for military use if they did not have the money needed to obtain them from foreign places? Through the symbol of a horse, the Mali Empire's art, it is safe to say that it was once a thriving, powerful empire. The Shona are a group of people who are predominantly Bantu speakers that live in Zimbabwe. According to Anita Jacobson Whitting, a believed symbol of importance to the Shona is a circular enclosure, a shape found in the National Monument of Zimbabwe, a pit structure in Nyanga, or something as simple as a cooking hut. This is interesting because this is not a typical symbol that the project has discussed, although it has mentioned important landmarkers that drive symbolism. The Shona also have an animal symbol as well, which is a common theme discussed in the project. Snakes are an important symbol to the Shona. Snakes have been known to gather in pits in Nyanga, decorate the neck and clay pots and walls of huts. In Shona childbirthing, a snake is believed to bite the uterus of a pregnant woman when she is about to give birth. The importance of snakes is interesting because some Westerners may think of a snake that symbolizes something bad. This differs from the Shona people who believe a snake is related to childbirth. The Akan people live in Ghana and parts of the Côte d'Ivoire. They have many symbols that can be found in many aspects of their art. They can be stamped on Dinka cloth, carved into wooden chief stools, or on gold weights, just to name a few. It is important to point out that in a lot of symbols, what they appear on does not matter as much as what the symbol is and what it represents. The Akan have a symbol of a man holding an egg because it is believed to symbolize a hold on power. This symbol comes from an Akan proverb that states power is like an egg. When held firmly, it does not break, but when held loosely, it falls from one's grip and shatters into pieces. This Akan symbol expresses a need for control of the power of the people and suggests that what could happen if the power is dwindled. Along with the power theme, the Akan also have a symbol of a man following an elephant. According to the book Asante by Faustine Armabatang, the meaning behind this symbol of the Akan people is that men should protect the people that follow him. The proverb says, "Those who follow an elephant do not get wet from the dew." Not only does this symbol relay a message of power and importance, it also highlights a man's roles and how the people should be treated by the men in powerful positions. The proverb is a way to connect those in power to the responsibility of taking care of the people who they rule over. In conclusion, some symbols in Africa and all around the world for that matter have similarities and differences. In Africa, many places mentioned above have symbols relating to animals. Although there are some similarities, there are many more diverse variations of symbols in Africa. It is important to realize that not all of Africa is the same. They have unique cultural variations that are important to learn. Different themes, customs, and beliefs can be represented by their symbols, which is a good and interesting way to learn about some of these places. You can tell just by looking at a few examples, there are many more on how symbolism plays a role in understanding all the different people of the African continent.